Details right now following the tragic death of a teenager from Burlington. State police believe a student from Lewis Mills High School fell from a moving truck and died.
This happened on Fieldview Drive over the weekend, and Channel 3 Hartford Bureau Chief Aya Galal is live at the high school tonight with more on what we know. Aya.
Aaron and Mark, just a heartbreaking story. Sophie Rehnquist was a junior here at Lewis Mills High School. Investigators believe that she died after falling from a moving pickup truck over the weekend. And all week, grief counselors are available to students as they try to process this loss. Tonight, investigators are trying to figure out how exactly a high school student fell from a moving pickup truck in Burlington. State police say 17-year-old Sophie Rehnquist was the passenger inside a Chevy Silverado in the overnight hours of Sunday, May 21st. According to the accident report, the truck was traveling on Fieldview Drive when, quote, unknown events occurred, and Rehnquist sustained serious injuries. Police adding initial information suggests the teen fell from the vehicle while it was moving. The Lewis Mills High School junior was taken to the hospital where she was later pronounced dead. The medical examiner's office said the cause of death for Rehnquist is blunt injuries to the torso. In a letter to families, the superintendent of Region 10 said, our deepest thoughts and prayers are with the Rehnquist family, as well as all the members of our community who are affected by this loss. Please do not hesitate to reach out for support during this difficult time. The accident report says 18-year-old Cooper Willett was driving her in a 2013 Chevy Silverado truck. State police adding that they were notified of the incident after Rehnquist had been transported to the hospital. And state police are seeking any witnesses or anyone who might have any video footage of what happened that night as they try to reconstruct what exactly happened. The investigation is active and ongoing. Reporting live in Burlington, Aya Galal, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.